So you're thinking about moving to Rancho Santa Fe? That's what we're getting into today. We're gonna cruise through, give you a walking tour, show you boots on the ground, kind of the downtown / village area. We're gonna cruise around, give you some insights into the housing, into what's around here, into the Covenant where we're standing, and everything in between. So stay tuned, it's gonna be a fun little tour today. I'm Chris Erickson.
I'm Cassidy Lewis.
We're both real estate agents here in North County. So if you guys are thinking about moving out here, be sure to hit us up. Call, text, email, we got your back. We're moving here to North County, San Diego. So we're starting at the Rancho Santa Fe Inn right now. Cassidy, give us the rundown.
So this is kind of the heart of Rancho Santa Fe. A lot of folks come here for dinners, lunches. They've got a great bar here too. So it's kind of like the center point for a lot of folks here in Rancho Santa Fe. It's also a great little staycation spot for locals. We've been to weddings here. It's just a great little spot, and it was recently purchased as well. So you'll start to see some more rehab and stuff here at the inn. And stay tuned because it's going to look great.
And we're right on the edge of the downtown. So as we cruise through, we'll give us some insights into kind of what you find down here and everything that we know about Rancho Santa Fe. So let's cruise. So we're walking towards downtown, the village area right now of Rancho Santa Fe. And just kind of as a whole, Rancho Santa Fe, we're about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes from the beach. So as you cruise around, like you could see above us, that way's east, behind us west. Usually we got a marine layer. We're sitting in the mid-July right now, and it's actually gonna get pretty beautiful. We were just cruising, like, you know, it's not super sunny right now, but it's also not super hot. So kind of beautiful right now. You still live in that Mediterranean style climate of Rancho Santa Fe, or of San Diego rather. So you still get the beautiful weather and whatnot, but kind of the area that we're staying in right now is called the Covenant. So a lot of people who do move to Rancho Santa Fe, they do target this specific area. It's a confined area within Rancho Santa Fe, only a few thousand homes, and it basically entails this whole section surrounding the village. As we get closer to the golf course over here, I'll show you a little bit of overhead view so you can kind of see some of the houses, because that's one of the things about Rancho Santa Fe. A lot of the homes and a lot of this area is all about like privacy and spread out and rural, and you got your space. So even if you're driving around a lot of the streets back here, you're not going to see a ton of houses because a lot of these houses have these big hedges that are covering a lot of this place. So
or gates too. We see a lot of gates.
A lot of gates, a lot of just private areas. But as we show you the overhead view, you get a little more visual of kind of what some of the houses look like. So coming into downtown, let's check it out.
So here in the village, there are a lot of the amenities you need kind of on a daily basis. There's a barbershop, there's dry cleaners, there's a bunch of restaurants and stuff too. We're about to pass Time in the Ranch.
Time in the Ranch, yeah.
Which is a great little breakfast spot out here in Rancho Santa Fe. But there's also a lot of other great spots to check out as well. So let's keep looking.
Yeah, as you're cruising around, there's a few little restaurants. You got a few different styles. So we're gonna pass the coffee shop over here, start with your morning coffee. Time in the Ranch is that brunch, lunch place. The Mille Fleur is more of that dinner kind of place, little French California cuisine. So you got a lot of, it's probably like 5 or 6 restaurants in here, not a ton, but let me show you Time real quick. So yeah, this whole area is not too huge, but it is a cool little spot. If you are going elsewhere, if you want to get out and explore a few other cities around here to expand your cuisine choices, where are they headed?
You either can cruise straight down to Solana Beach, which has got all the amenities you need, grocery stores, hardware store, all that. Not very far. Like Chris said, it's only 10 minutes to the beach, so it's probably 8 minutes to Solana Beach, and about the same to get to Encinitas, which has all your big box stores. You got Home Depot, Target, Walmart, all those things you could need But a lot of the things that you just need quick, they have here too. There's a pharmacy, there's a lot of just those amenities you need on a daily basis.
Yeah, and back to Solana Beach, it's basically a straight shot down the main road we were just on. So if you are heading to the beach, like I did Google it earlier, it's 13 minutes to Fletcher Cove, which is like the main beach in Solana Beach. If you need to do some kind of high-end shopping for furniture and flooring and all that kind of stuff, Cedros Avenue is right down there as well. So go check that out. Even as you're cruising around, if you are thinking about living in this area, cruise to all those spots too, just so you know where they are. You kind of get a vibe of how far everything is, because this is like mostly the only infrastructure here in Rancho Santa Fe. There's a few other little shops over by Fairbanks Ranch, there's one, but for the most part, this is it. Everything else is housing. It's pretty spread out.
And one last thing, in Encinitas too, you have great little shops right kind of on the border of Encinitas in Rancho Santa Fe. There's a couple of great little restaurants. Firenze is one of our favorite little Italian spots in there. And you also have a market, Harvest Ranch Market, right there too.
And you can see, we just crossed over the cloud line. Now it's like crazy sunny, so we gotta put on our sunnies and continue the tour. Let's roll on.
So, like Chris mentioned earlier, this is the Covenant portion of Rancho Santa Fe. And what that really entails is it's kind of a large HOA. So it has it's called an art jury, which is just kind of like an architectural committee for new construction and remodels. There's also no mail directly sent to homes here. So there are services you can use, like postal annexes where you can get a box, or they also have delivery services too. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then also, as part of the Covenant, they do have security guard, full-time security that roams around Rancho Santa Fe as well.
Yeah, and within the Covenant, that HOA, it just depends on how much you purchase your home for. There's a percentage that your monthly HOA will be. But once again, within the HOA, where we end up, that golf course, the tennis clubs, all that stuff, to use all that, you're gonna have to be part of within the Covenant. So we'll kind of show you and share a little bit more as we get down that way. So you can kind of just see where we're at. Solana Beach, straight up that way, leads right to the coast. Encinitas, even though it is coastal, it kind of weaves around over this way. So you're pretty close to all that. If you head that away, you're gonna go to Escondido. If you're gonna head that way, you're kind of like Del Mar-ish area. So there's no like main roads in here. It's all these kind of side roads. The closest main road is probably the freeway, but that's not even, it doesn't run through here or anything. So as you're going around, it is all these like little 2-lane streets, 2-lane roads, nothing really main. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of like keeps that rural type vibe.
So as you just saw, we passed some of the boutique shops here in Rancho Santa Fe, and that's just kind of what the village here is just made up of, a lot of those smaller type shops. For housing out here, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
It's big houses, it's huge lots. It's really having all of your amenities right on your property. If you like tennis, you're gonna have your own tennis courts. If you like basketball, you're gonna have sports courts. You're gonna have a pool. You can have, we've seen the sky's the limit. Some folks have their own, one-hole golf course or huge putting greens.
There's ponds, there's miniature lakes, there's all kinds of killer stuff out here.
Even farming too. We don't see as much of it kind of in this area right here next to the Covenant, but there is a ton of equestrian. So if you're into horses, this is a great spot to have your horses on your property, but also orchards. You see vineyards, you see a whole lot of that stuff, like big gardens, animals, all that stuff here in Rancho Santa Fe.
Yeah, a lot of it you can, well, there's not, like I said, a ton of infrastructure. There's a few like private parks and that kind of stuff. There's this downtown area, but a lot of the time you can live at your house and have all the entertainment you need there with your pool, your outdoor kitchen, your huge like library, your theater in your house. So a lot of those houses are just beautiful, and they do have a lot of that. Let's take a look from the sky so you kind of see a little bit about what it looks like beyond the little Covenant, or beyond the little downtown area right here. All right, as we head out of the downtown area of Rancho Santa Fe, when we talk about the Covenant, there's a bunch of different little areas that are not part of the Covenant within Rancho Santa Fe. So the area code of 92067 encompasses a lot of that Rancho Santa Fe. There's a few more, but further, I guess, east, you got Fairbanks Ranch. Even further, kind of down Del Dios, if you're looking for kind of these unbelievable views looking down to La Jolla, up to, I mean, you can see all the islands out there. They're just some beautiful views. Cielo is a good little spot on top of the hill.
A couple of golf course communities as well. You've got Crosby, you've got the Bridges. So if golf is a big thing for you, that is another good option out there.
Yeah, and a few other, I mean, if you are a golfer and you're within the Covenant, like, you can sign up for the golf membership down here. But there's I mean, San Diego's really, we got a lot of good courses up here. Just over in Encinitas Ranch, some beautiful views over there. It's somewhat of a decently not too difficult course. So if you're like not a great golfer, but you enjoy it, that might be a good spot. And then Torrey Pines, world renowned. Obviously they've had a bunch of golf tournaments out there. That's not too far away as well. So there's a bunch of other options. Well, there's a few within Rancho that he just mentioned, but there's also a ton around San Diego.
And if you are looking for a country club but you aren't living in the Covenant, you've also got Loma Santa Fe, which is just on the other side of Rancho Santa Fe, right on the edge of Solana Beach. So we are walking along one of many trails that go through here, Rancho Santa Fe here. And these are private trails. So this is, like Chris just mentioned to me, it is owners here in Rancho Santa Fe and also real estate agents. So that's what we're doing here. But there's a ton of trails. So if you do have some equestrian facilities on your property, great spot to walk your horses. It's also just goes right along the golf course. So it is beautiful and goes for miles. You could go for a long way here.
Yeah, there's a ton of, I mean, we're just passing horse tracks right now, so they've been recently here, and you'll find a bunch of horse patties out here as well. But there's a lot of these trails cruising through here, and if you are part of the Covenant, you get a trail map. We don't have access to that right now, but you can get that to see where you could cruise around and that kind of stuff. There's also, like I mentioned, in the HOA, there's a few private parks. There's like some open space to Osuna Ranch. There is another one that you can do some camping. You need a permit, but it doesn't cost you anything if you're an HOA member. Only for Covenant members, so it's a pretty cool little spot. And then if you are in the tech biz and you need some fast internet, work at home, remote work, they did install recently for this Covenant area super high speed fiber internet. So most of the houses out here will have that option as well.
So this is the Rancho Santa Fe Country Club right behind us. So if you're thinking about becoming a member here when you buy in the Covenant, that's where it is. It's beautiful. There's also tennis courts right there too. We can hear the tennis ball going back and forth. Thought it was a golf ball hitting a tree. Definitely wasn't. So.
I don't know if we mentioned it too. They just added a few years ago a pickleball membership as well. So pickleball is up and coming. Obviously, it's pretty hot here in San Diego.
Yep. And if you are thinking about moving to Rancho Santa Fe, that gives you a really good overview of what it's like out here. But if you have more questions, definitely hit us up. Call, text, email. We love helping people move to North County, San Diego, and especially Rancho Santa Fe. It's a great community, especially if you're looking for that kind of slower pace, country club style living. It's definitely a great option. We've got your back when moving to North County, San Diego.